All right, that is the Higher Love Band here on 92.7 KOCF with their song All About You. And that is on our compilation CD. And we actually have Higher Love Band member John Sharpie on the phone, on the video. We've got him everywhere. We're all over the place. John, thanks for joining in today.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
Oh, feedback. I love
That's
feedback.
that's a curse of
I
the
think I
industry,
got it. I
right?
think I got it. There's so many buttons to take care of in this thing to make sure that it goes out to all the proper places.
Of course.
So, thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on KOCF.
Let's talk about the song, "All About You"
All
and
right.
the band. So, how do you guys go about writing your songs? I mean, you guys are a very unique band. You're kind of a soul, kind of funk, just a cool sound that you have. How did you develop that sound?
Well, that song actually came at the band from Tara, who, for being predominantly a vocalist, she actually wrote the song on a ukulele and then brought it to the band in a practice. And then we completely abandoned the ukulele because Josh took over on keyboards, kind of wrote this big format and kind of took it to another step. And then between myself and Coney on drums, myself on bass, we kind of just developed the sound. And Ed, who was on the recording of that tune, he really helped get a nice guitar tone out of that. And we really are a collaborative group. We sometimes we'll bring a fully realized song. Like I've brought a couple fully realized songs to the band, but I think the mode that we really like to exist in is we like to create together. And since we've been together for about 10 years now, the band
Wow.
started off predominantly as a soul cover band. We had about, at one point, I think we had about 4.5 hours worth of soul
Oh,
covers,
wow.
anywhere from Motown to like some more Americana style soul to new soul like Bruno Mars and Jamiroquai, which is more that funk side. We kind of had that basis of energy of how we play together really well. And I mean, I'm not really a soul songwriter per se, but when I bring a song to the group or an idea to the group, the way that we play together really kind of brings that side out. And so we've really kind of figured out that we're more of an Americana soul uh, group when
Oh,
we
yeah.
collaborate in this way.
I like that because you guys really do kind of meld and mix a lot of different genres, and that I think that's really what gives you that unique sound. That you guys are so danceable, and have that. You always seem to have that groove going no matter what. And what I like, and with some of the people that I've been interviewing, it's been interesting because I've been interviewing some of the guys that have and groups that have been around for a long, long, long time, and they talk about a lot of the younger bands coming up, but those bands are still bringing in the same people that are like my age. They're not bringing in the people that are in their 20s and 30s and stuff. Even though the music is there, they're still bringing in the people that are kind of my age that love that music. Do you find that in your shows you're getting younger audiences to come and see you?
I mean, we have like for a while we had kind of a standing gig at the Vets Club at Max downtown Eugene,
Mhm.
and when we were there, we were having a lot of people that were in our age group, the 40 and under, coming in and having a good time with us. But at that on the same or the opposite side of that, we were still having what you're saying, some of that the generation ahead of us, the generation that is like my parents and younger,
Right.
that were really taking part in being that audience and that energy. And you know what? I'll play to kids. I don't care who I'm playing for, as long as it's a good crowd. It's all
Right.
good for me. So that's I think the rest of the band just likes getting that feedback from the audience, regardless of who's there. But yeah, I think what we're aiming at is trying to find a way to bridge the gap between the sound that we've got. I mean, not a lot of younger folks, college age folks, are really aiming at that soul Motown kind of edge. And so hopefully by bringing in the Americana, and we even kind of tread into some of the psychedelic territory a little bit, kind of
Right.
like, I mean, I'm a big fan of Radiohead personally. Um, uh, and not that that's going to make a soul song, but the influence is going to be there. And with some of the more, I mean, Coney, the drummer in our band, he's really into Fish and Ween and stuff like that, which has this own crew of people that really glom onto it. And I
Right.
think with the influences that we have, uh, informing how we write and the songs that we put out there, I think the crowds will come once we open back up the community. I mean, we've only been writing original tunes since like before lockdown happened, like right before lockdown. So
Oh, okay. So
this
in the
venture
so in the
is
10
a really
years, yeah.
new brand for us. And we're really excited that we've been getting really positive feedback from what we've done so far.
Well, your original tunes are just phenomenal. I mean, having seen you play them a few times, they're just outstanding. And again, that's what I talk about, that fresh energy of soul from people in their, the under 40 crowd is really, it's just so energizing for me as someone who loves music, because I mean, to be honest, everybody's dying off. So to have that torch be passed on to other generations, not just covering all those songs, which of course is great to pay homage to those, but to be able to create that new music, I think is absolutely important. And bands like you, and you mentioned Bruno Mars, people like that, I think is so crucial to keeping the music going and bringing in those new audiences.
Well, that's really good to hear. Thank you for that. It's really nice to hear feedback about that. And as a when you're writing original music, you never know what's really going to hit an audience or how it's going to be responded to. So, um, I don't think we write for that feedback. How we really just write music that we love. And I grew up with a dad that was from Detroit. I guess both my parents were from Detroit, so they grew up kind of in the Motown scene,
Mhm.
but also in like the Detroit Rock City scene. So there's a lot of these
Right.
old classic rock influences in my world, and I know that the other band members. I don't want to speak for them, but I know that they have a really eclectic background of music that they've all listened to, and we for a while when we weren't able to actually rehearse together because of the lockdown. We ended up just creating playlists. We called them our desert island playlists that we would
Oh,
send to
okay.
one another so we could really dive into each other's world and just understand more about who we were outside of the soul covers that we were doing.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
that's really helped us form a good bond and a good understanding about where we all come from. And that's been a really cool place, and it's really cool to see the not only the complete and total separation that we don't really have, like that don't line up together, but also to see where we came together,
Right.
and find those lines uh, in our musical interests that just were really symbiotic with one another.
So what was the impetus for you guys to go from being a cover band to start doing original material?
Uh, you know, there was a lot. I'd say, we'd been, like I said, we've been together for 10 years. I haven't been a part of the band the whole time. I've kind of come and gone a couple of times. But re- we were finding that there were other bands that were doing soul covers in town. There's some really great bands in town doing soul covers.
Mhm.
Um, and it's not that we were tired of it because we still have all those songs under our belt. Like we
Right.
still have that catalog of songs. Granted, the
Right.
lineup has changed a little bit. Um, but if we wanted to pull out an hour, 2 hours worth of soul covers, we could do that.
Right.
And
Right.
we wanted to kind of get that other part of our creative side fulfilled. I mean,
Hmm.
I've always been a songwriter. I've been in quite a few bands, band here, like some bands in Eugene, some in Portland. And one of the things that I've always loved was the collaborative creation. And we can get some of that when you're doing cover music. Like we like to reinterpret songs when we're doing
Right.
them, but you don't really get that full breadth of creation in that
Right.
moment. And I think the rest of the band, I may have kind of been a little bit more vocal than the other people in the band about going that direction, but everyone I think really wanted it, and we've all really dove in with like both feet and really committed to this creation side. And so whenever we play a gig, you can expect lots of original tunes, but
Right.
you never know what covers we'll pull out. And We even recorded a couple covers. We've done like we did a mashup between Bad Mama Jamma and Rocky Raccoon, which was a, on the
Wow.
surface, that's a weird combo. Who would think that Carl Carlton and the Beatles would blend together?
Right,
But we
right.
found a way into it, and it's one of our really fun songs that we like to play. I mean, we just really enjoy the songs, the covers that we do, and that's one of the things that we're never going to get rid of. Like there's so much good music that's happened,
Yeah.
and putting that on stage in front of people is just amazing.
Yeah, and we I've talked about this with other people. It's like Tchaikovsky and Beethoven. You still have to. There's still, clearly they've been gone for a long, long time, and everybody's still playing their music. And the thing
Yep.
that I like about you, and you talked about a little bit, is you make those songs your own. You guys take those songs and you tweak the arrangements a little bit, and you make them your own. And to me, that's the mark of a true artist, is when you can take someone else's material and just tweak it enough so that it really kind of is a little bit yours as well as theirs, and you guys do a great job of that.
Well, good. That's great feedback, and it's good to hear. I'm glad you picked up on the love there.
So now, do you have any gigs coming up that we can talk about before we get out of here?
We actually haven't scheduled any gigs right now, just mostly because we're in the midst of really diving into writing. We want to put an album together, so we're recording, and actually coming in the next couple of weeks, we're going to put out a cover of a Christmas song. Well, a holiday song, let's put it that way. It's more of a winter
Okay.
song. We did one of those last year, and we did a music video for it, and it was a lot of fun. So we decided that was going to be kind of a tradition of ours, is to find off the beaten path holiday tune and just kind of put
Okay.
it out right before the holidays hit, just to have a good time and put out a little video and put out a little live recording of it. And then we're going to continue writing the album. I have a personal goal of I want to put an album out on vinyl. It's been always a
Wow.
dream of
Nice.
mine. So I think that's really what we're going to aim at. And if a gig comes up, we'll play it. I mean, we're applying for the country fair, so hopefully that'll be a gig that we have. Let's make that our album release party, if I have my way
Yeah. There
about
we
it.
go. There we
We'll
go.
see what happens. Uh, but yeah, we're focusing on the original album right now. And we never say no to a gig.
Excellent.
If all the cards fall where they may.
All right. Well, John, thanks so much for being on the show. Appreciate it. So happy to
Thank
have
you.
you on our compilation CD, and look forward to seeing you guys. Look forward to the album, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you very much, Andy, and glad to be on KOCF.
All right. Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
You too.